Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Design City Skylines with me, Yama. Today we start on a 2 or 3 part special for the railroad, where I hope to place the main rails and also some of the sub-railway stations. So I'm starting in the harbour, which we designed in episodes 4 and 5, and I'm just tweaking the track to make it a bit more intricate, and I've added a few repairs and maintenance depots and some dead ends for storing some trains. The tricky part here is getting the track to turn around at the bend smoothly while intersecting the lines that are coming from the other direction. So I'm trying to do this to stop it being too busy, and as you can see, it takes me quite a few goes to get this how I want it. I got some good advice from the subreddit for City Skylines, saying that you should keep your industry and your passenger trains on separate lines, but it just wasn't possible down in this area. So I've made a dead end track here as the area for railways gets smaller and has less demand, so I thought it'd be the perfect opportunity to add a few trains and to make the railroad look more realistic. I also go back to the dead end in the area on the top right of the harbour and add some decoration trains and trains to make the area look more realistic, because it's not going to be a pristine and perfect area. I also want the railway to look good in the city in the evenings, as the trains will be working around the clock to keep up with the city's traffic. So I'm adding lighting to illuminate the busy tracks and also to ensure the colour matches the modern vibe of the city. I've tried to go for a very clean white colour, and I'll be using these around the city for the railway. I'm just going to scatter those around, I'm not going to put them in any specific pattern. I'm pulling back the track past the highway because I'm going to be making the track slightly underground, and I've had a good idea for the infrastructure of how I want to do this, but it may take a few goes to get this right. So as you can see, I want it to veer off into 2 sections, one that goes to the main city, which is going to be on the top side of this highway, and then one that goes to the outside connecting tracks. And I'm using the technique you can see here by putting the seawall in to make a nice clean wall for the railway road, as it's going to be underneath. So then I can lower the terrain and it will look quite smart. I also use the technique of putting the seawall in between the 2 walls to make sure that I've got the same length in between all the way around, so that the width of the track stays consistent throughout the city. I also add a piece here so that the trains can go directly to the main city, or they can go to the harbour area. And now I've got the infrastructure sort of shape done, I can remove the trees and start clearing the area of extra dirt. So I start to remove the dirt, and as you can see, in some areas the dirt doesn't want to move, and I think it glitches into the seawall. So in a moment you'll see that we have to delete some parts of the seawall to get the area to stop glitching, and then you just put it back and it works fine. I'm not sure why it does this, but it's quite a simple fix, so it's not too annoying. So we just delete the area and then smooth it out again. And that's it, it works fine. So I just do that for all of the track to make sure that it's all looking nice and smart. And then I decide to do a dirt texture in the lower area so we can distinguish against them, and it's going to be sort of like a working sort of gravel area for the trains. And then I start placing in the track. And this is all sort of subject to change, as we haven't built the city yet. It could change slightly in where it goes and whatnot, but just getting the infrastructure down to start with, and the idea, as this is going to take up quite a large amount of area in the city, I want to make sure I give it enough room. I then start to try to build the bridge back over for the highway, and this was a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be, to get the heights right and things. You have to keep altering the height just to keep the road flat. So it did take 5 or 6 goes, constantly deleting it, putting it back, thinking it looked okay and it wasn't. So what you're seeing is the last attempt of trying to get it to work. And just connecting it back up on the other side. So this is quite a large project, guys, so this is probably going to be spread over a few episodes. So I'm just finishing it off here, trying to make a good line between the concrete and the dirt. I'm just trying to smooth out the area a little bit more. The dirt texture seems to show all of the imperfections, which is a little bit annoying, but I didn't want to make it all concrete because I thought it would look just too much concrete, and I can't really put trees down there, so I can't really hide the fact that the terrain is being strange. And then I'm just trying to add the last bridge for the main avenue. Okay, and that's where we're going to stop this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please tune in next week, and I'm going to be doing another episode on the trains probably, maybe a little bit more of the city. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thanks, bye!